Welcome back, guys. It's
What's
the
good?
MMA Neighborhood,
Yes.
and we're gonna go over last weekend's fights, which is UFC 240, Holloway
Oof.
versus Edgar. Not the biggest card of the year, to be honest, but the main event was pretty worth watching for sure.
Okay, so I don't know if I should save this question for the end or right now.
Shoot it.
Fuck it. Do you think this was the worst card this year so far?
I wish I had the list in front of me at the moment, but to be honest, if it's not the worst, it's the second the worst. It's definitely a bad card, and on paper, I mean, before we even seen this fight, we didn't think it was gonna be good. And
What's the other card that's really bad?
I'm trying to think of it, man.
So technically
I
this
think we
is
had one other stinker besides this one.
to me this is like a really bad fucking
All
card.
right,
But
I'll agree with you. I'll agree with you. And that's why it's hard to get pumped for this one, man.
yeah,
Like
I mean,
honestly, for the fans, I'm sure like a lot of people didn't even hear about this freaking card or even wanted to watch it. And
I honestly didn't even hear how many views it got.
oh
It probably
man,
did horrible.
for sure, for sure. I mean, the only big names on this card were Cyborg, Frankie Edgar, and Max Holloway,
Yeah.
and a lot of people were not even ranked.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a lot of decisions.
Mm-hmm.
So,
4 out of 5 on the main card were decisions.
ugh,
And
jeez.
just to get into it, the first two.
Hold on. I do before we get into the main card.
Oh
I
yeah,
want to
yeah.
give a shout out to my boy on the prelims, Hakeem Duwadu. I picked my dude to win, and he did by KO slash TKO. So, hell yeah,
Yeah, that
good job.
the Stevens boy, he's on his hype train, man.
Hell yeah. If you don't know the Hakeem Duwadu, get to researching.
Is he lightweight?
Hold on. He's featherweight.
Featherweight.
Yeah, he's good. I like him.
I didn't get to see his whole fight, but I seen the end, and he's lighting that dude up, man.
Yeah, he's a striking force. Man, he is really good with his combos. I love watching him fight.
How many fights does he have in UFC so far? Do you know?
I think like 3 or 4.
3 or 4. Yeah, he still hasn't fought anybody ranked. The guy he fought, I'm not too sure who he is, but he lit that dude up, and I believe he got performance of the night for that win too.
Hell yeah.
So what's his name again?
Hakeem Duwadu.
You heard it, man. That's the
There you
Stevens
go.
boy. Get on the hype train now.
There you go.
Get on it. Yeah, the prelims, man. I didn't really watch too much.
Yeah, he was the really only one that I wanted to see.
Mhm.
But other than that, whatever. We can move on now. I just wanted to give a shout out to my boy.
Great shout out, man. I mean, he was probably like the best fight of the night, actually, to be honest.
Are you serious?
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
And I'm gonna try to keep you guys awake because I almost fell asleep during the main event because the first two fights.
Yeah.
Man, dude, both of them went to decision. Both two fights aren't even worth talking about. They're that bad, man. Like it was just hugging the whole time.
Serious.
Yes, hugging against the cage. No action, and I couldn't even break down these fights separately because they almost went down identically.
Wow.
Straight up. We had a Mark, I cannot pronounce his last name, versus Christoph Draco.
Yeah.
That fight was just pure hugging. Pure hugging,
Jesus.
dude.
This is just, man.
Dude,
I'm
it was
sorry
hard.
we have to put you guys through this.
Oh yeah, man. It was hard to pay attention during that fight. It just
Was it
sucked.
like there was no technicality in the grappling or anything?
No. Who can control one another on against the cage?
That's it.
Hmm.
Oh my lord.
And this wasn't the cage fighting you like to see. This is literally on the cage doing nothing.
Just
Yeah.
like hugging in the clinch.
Exactly, for 3 rounds, and I was like, "Thank God it's over." And then it just repeated itself with the next fight, which is Oliver, the Canadian gangster.
Dude, he lost again.
Yeah, dude, and he looked horrible. I wouldn't be surprised if UFC cuts him now.
Dude, I think this might be 2, possibly 3 in a
Maybe
row.
3.
Dude, I remember a few fights ago, like he looked so good, and I was really rooting for him. After that, he's just fell off.
Completely, man. And literally, this fight was just sad. The highlight of this fight was Oliver landing like a knee
Oh my
And then
god.
the rest of the highlights were just them hugging each other against the cage. Like, literally, there was one like strike fucking landed that was nice.
So they really tried to search for something.
Yes, exactly,
Oh
dude.
my
It was
lord.
so funny. Like, literally, the whole 15 minutes we had a good knee, and that
Mhm.
was it. But he basically just got out grappled again, and he's a grappler.
That's what I'm saying. How is this happening?
I don't know. I think
Whatever.
they're pairing him up against the best grapplers they have, and I seen UFC do this a lot. If they got a bunch of grapplers in the same division, they
Mhm.
try to like knock each other out by
Yeah.
pairing them against each other. You know?
Yeah, yeah.
Because you don't want a bunch of grapplers in one division. You don't want everybody to be a grappler.
Sure. I agree with that.
They're pairing him against good grapplers, and he's actually losing, surprisingly.
What weight class is the Canadian in?
He's
Canadian
a lightweight,
gangster?
155.
Yeah. All right. That's sad to see. We'll see what happens with
Dude,
him.
no joke. After this performance and the last, I think he's going to get cut.
Hey, it is what it is, man. If you're not fighting well, up to
Exactly.
par.
And this was in a Toronto UFC 240.
He was in the hometown.
Yeah, there was a lot of Canadians, and they just weren't doing too great, man. So
Man.
lost in his hometown. And
Was GSP
just-
there in the crowd?
No, they didn't show GSP.
No? Oh, that's a
He
bummer.
trains with GSP though.
He does?
Yeah, but doesn't show
And that's a TriStar?
TriStar Gym.
TriStar,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Just a shitty first two fights. Honestly, just fucking horrible. Now, it got a little more exciting in the third fight.
And who was that?
We had Jeff Neal versus Nico Price.
Nico mother effing Price.
I believe you had him for this one, huh, Steven?
I can't remember. I think I did. Oh, who did I have? Man, honestly, this card I didn't care about much, so I really can't even remember who
Steven
I picked.
actually didn't even get to check this one out.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't even get to see these fights, so
But I don't blame you, brother, or
I
probably
wanted to.
majority of all the MMA fans probably didn't watch this, and I don't blame you guys, because it was a stinker.
I did see highlights for this though, which is pretty wow.
Yeah, this was like the highlight of the night. Jeff Neal, I believe,
Yeah.
versus Nico Price.
Mhm.
So Jeff Neal, he's coming off the Tuesday Night Contender Series, I believe.
Is that right?
And I believe this is his fourth fight in the UFC already. So
Really,
he's-
already?
Yeah, he's been active. He's 4-0 so far. And this fight got fun, man, because Nico Price was game, dude. They stood in the
Yeah.
pocket and they rocked each other a couple times. Both guys
Yeah.
got dropped, and it literally just came down to like grit and heart, man.
Yeah.
These guys were just beating each other up in the pocket.
Yeah.
Both got dropped, and I believe the third round or the second,
Let's see.
Neil got Nico down, and he finished it with some ground and pound.
Yeah, it's the second round.
Second round.
Mhm. Yeah, that ground and pound looked vicious, buddy.
Oh yeah,
It looked hard. Like once Neil smelt that blood
Mm-hmm.
when he was down, bro, he just went ham on him, bro.
Hell
Holy
yeah.
shit.
I'd love to see that shit, because sometimes, you know, when you get someone on the ground, you kind of just coast it and you don't go for the finish.
Yeah,
Neil hands of steel, baby.
bro, unbelievable.
Ooh, he made Nico eat some steel that night.
Dude.
But I gotta give credit to Nico though, 'cause I was totally counting him out in this fight,
Mhm.
and it was fucking close, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nico was all game,
Dude,
but I
Yeah.
believe I don't know, he's not Canadian. I thought he was. He's not.
I couldn't tell you.
But
Yeah.
that fight was actually pretty exciting, man.
Mm-hmm.
It woke me up.
Hell yeah.
I was snoozing before that one, man. Straight up.
All right, but I think we're gonna take a quick break, real quick, and
Grab a beer. Be right back.
All right, we're back, but we're talking about something real quick. Basically, we're talking about Devin wants to be a ref, and I'm saying, tell him what you just
Hold on.
said.
The reason why this came up is because we got a little beer break, and I was saying like how the refs weren't doing their job last weekend because the fights were so stale and against the cage. The refs should split up multiple times.
Yeah,
And if I was reffing, I would be more active in there. I'd be talking to the fighters more. If you're gonna be sitting against the cage doing nothing, I'm gonna tell them work like every 10 seconds until they do something, or split them up.
yeah, but every fight is a different situation, and you can't compare each fight as the same.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, maybe you have a really good fighter holding an opponent against the cage, and he's just trying to prepare. If you
Mm.
split him up after 10, 15 seconds, man, you're gonna be feeling the hellstorm. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah.
saying? I just think it's a very, very, very hard job.
I wouldn't split him up after 10 seconds or so, but I'll
You'd be
start
doing a
warning them. I'll
you'd be
start,
doing a lot of clapping, like, get to
yeah.
work,
I
do
be,
something.
I'll be talking a lot more than these refs are doing, man.
Hmm.
And honestly, they didn't do shit. They weren't doing nothing, man. Like,
That's insane.
it was really bad refing, big time, man.
Was that
Big time.
Mark Goddard there?
Goddard.
What
I'm
whatever.
not too sure. I think they had a bunch of refs that night. I'm not too
A
sure
bunch of new ones.
who was refing bad, but during those first two fights, man, like, what the fuck? Like, come on, get him
I'd
off
be
the
sure.
cage.
I'd be sure to be taking names about the refs,
Mm-hmm.
because I'm gonna be the
Next
first one to
time.
fucking call you out.
I want to say one was Herb, man, because sometimes I feel like he's so damn high, he don't give a fuck in there, you know?
Dog, that's what a lot of people have been saying. Herb has been slacking lately.
Oh, I said it before. I feel like the more experienced the ref, the lazier they get after a while, you know?
I don't think so.
I feel like they've seen so many, they kind of zone out in that motherfucking cage, you
Nah.
know?
Would you say the same thing with like John McCarthy?
Well, I don't even know if he's refing anymore.
Well,
you
he's
know?
not, but like when he was like, at the end of his reffing
Oh.
career, dude, like he would, like there's a couple of couple refs that are just like known for being the best.
You're right. You're
You
right.
know.
I can't say all, but I feel like that does affect some of them. They're just too used to their job, you know? They start.
Well, it's situational.
It
That's why
is.
Herb Dean, kind of got a semi load of shit
Mhm.
for the Robbie Lawler Askren fight.
Oh, yeah.
He separated them, and then Lawler steps up, like, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, wide awake.
Like, what are you doing? And like, you can see it on Herb's face, like, oh,
He fucked up.
You
And
know?
Lawler, we're gonna get into Lawler later too.
yeah. All right, so
But back into a UFC 240,
Yeah.
Holloway versus Edgar.
that's right. We're going to do the co-main event, the women's featherweight bout, Chris Cyborg versus Felicia Spencer.
Yeah, buddy.
What's good with that one, Devin?
So, if you've seen the highlights, you're probably wondering, damn, Cyborg, why is she so bloody?
Mm-hmm.
Because she got a nice cut that night.
Yeah,
Yeah, Felicia, that's her name?
Felicia, yeah. The Phenom.
Felicia. I'm going to start off by saying I counted her completely out.
You did.
I said this is a feed the lamb type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take it back. She wasn't a lamb. She was more of like a goat. You know.
Okay.
She had a little kick to her. She had some fight, in her,
Mm-hmm.
and she didn't just get eaten up by Cyborg. So to break it down, that first round,
Mm-hmm.
Felicia landed a nice unorthodox elbow. Actually, it's off her lead foot. She landed an elbow. It's kind of weird style,
Yeah.
but it worked. It cut Cyborg's forehead like a good 2-inch cut. It was
No
nasty.
way.
Yeah, and it was early too,
Oof.
and just blood pouring immediately in Cyborg's eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and made the fight interesting for sure.
How was the pressure, like, between, like, was Cyborg doing a lot of pressure? Was there a lot of pressure being given between the two fighters, or was it a very slow pace, like trying to fill each other out type deal?
Well, to be honest, this was one of the best fights of the night, and the pressure was huge on Cyborg's end as usual. Cyborg is a pressure
So
fighter.
she was pushing forward a lot.
Yeah, she was trying to take Felicia out early, and that's how Cyborg fights, you know.
Yeah.
Now, what was cool though is Felicia countered a lot and pressured right back. She didn't like fold.
Okay.
So when Cyborg came in and started landing bombs, Felicia was throwing right back. That's why I give this girl a lot of props, man.
The fact. Oh, I'm sorry.
Because even Felicia, even though she was getting cracked with some bombs,
Mhm.
she was swinging right back at Cyborg.
Were they pretty flush hits? Did they look like they were doing anything?
Yeah,
Felicia hitting Cyborg.
a couple of them were pretty flush, but for the most part, it just kept Cyborg off of her, you know?
Yeah.
Was Cyborg trying to do like a barrage of punches on her or just coming
Mhm.
storming on her, she was very good at keeping her off of her
Yeah.
and stopping the barrage, you know?
Yeah. That's super interesting. I kind of thought, because her last fight was against Amanda Nunes.
Yeah.
Kind of figured that
Cyborgs.
would give a small blueprint to how to kind of beat her. There's pressure, you know, and you're saying she did do a little of that.
Yeah.
Counter strikes. The fact that she made it all 3 rounds into a decision, you know, good for her.
It's the second best fighter I've seen go against Cyborg. She looked better than
Really?
Holly Holm, yeah.
Well, fuck yeah.
And like you said, the blueprint, she tried. The difference is Nunes can actually crack hard.
Yeah.
You know, so this girl doesn't have the power.
Yeah.
She's actually, I believe, a black belt Taekwondo.
Ooh,
So
did it ever go to the ground?
Damn, I'm trying to refresh my memory on that one. I think it did, and I think Felicia even got a takedown because she's black belt Taekwondo and black belt in Jiu-Jitsu.
Wow.
So she did a little cage hugging too, trying to get Cyborg down. I didn't mind it because it was
a pretty active fight.
Yeah, she's still active, and when she did hold her against the cage, she was going for a takedown. And Cyborg's vicious, so you gotta wear her out, you know?
Yeah.
So she had a good strategy. Where it didn't work is she just got hit too many fucking times.
Yeah. Her face didn't look bloody, Felicia's, but man, there are some bumps on her face for sure.
Oh, yeah. That first round, I think I gave it to Felicia, to be honest. The first round was pretty good. She did really good. The cut was great, and then she just was able to neutralize Cyborg and not allow her to pressure her so much. But then she just started getting cracked too fucking hard.
Yeah.
And when she started getting cracked hard, Cyborg smelt the blood kind of.
Yeah, and kind of just took over from there.
Yeah, each round was like progressively getting worse for Felicia.
Was Felicia able to have the stamina to keep going through rounds 2 and 3?
Yeah, she was still in the fight.
Really?
But she was just getting cracked too much, too hard, you know? And I don't think she had enough power to give back to Cyborg.
Yeah.
Because even though when she countered sometimes,
it just not enough.
Wasn't enough to rock Cyborg.
And
the cut was great.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful and early, but the power behind her shots weren't enough.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Amanda Nunes did, and it sounds like Felicia did. You have to catch Cyborg early, because if you don't, you're going to start running just a tad tired, even though you probably have the stamina. But the pressure, the constant pressure, though, Cyborg, her striking, phenomenal. You know, it's just inevitable.
Cyborg looked great, actually. It was kind of cool to see her go 3 rounds, because you don't ever see that.
Yeah, for sure.
And to see how like much gas Cyborg had, because I thought she was gonna gas out, honestly. Yeah. But she looked great all 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And she started utilizing a leg kick too.
Really?
And it looks brutal, dude. Cyborg kicking the leg, it was mean. And so she started mixing it up. You know? She wasn't just head hunting. So that was smart on Cyborg. She looked like a smart fighter that night.
Well, she has been playing that game, the smart fighter game. So, you know, good for her. But, question for you. Does Cyborg fight Amanda Nunes next?
I mean, that's the fight to make, brother. That's
like the only fight to make.
Have you heard of, like, Cyborg? I don't know what the fuck's going on, but she wants Dana White to like apologize to her before she fights again.
Because I think I don't know if it was if she got interviewed in the ring or something, but somewhere after the fight, she said Dana White like bullies her online, this and that, and she gets bullied all the time, and she just wants an apology from him. So I don't know what's going on with that. But, I mean, either way, I don't know how many fights are left on her contract. Probably.
She's done. Her fights are done, so she's saying she's not going to resign unless she gets an apology.
Look, just signed a 1-fight thing, fight or 2 fights. Amanda Nunes and you, one last time. Because let's see. Because you were the baddest fucking chick fighter for a long time. And you got fucking cracked and knocked out. Let's run that back.
She was
Let's see it.
undefeated for 13 years before that.
Bro, come on.
I think that's one of the reasons, though, she's pissed because I guess Dana White was trying to say she's ducking Nunes.
Sometimes, like, look, I always try to back Dana White because I think he takes a lot of unnecessary shit from people. But sometimes he needs to shut his mouth. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? So, look, if the lady wants, I'm sorry, just give it to her. You know what I'm saying? How old are you, bro? Playing these games? Stop it. You know, just say you're sorry. Make the fight. You know, let's make it happen.
We all know Dana White don't apologize. Come on, man.
Yeah,
Shit.
I mean, probably in the back room, you know, when they're making the deals. Look, I'm sorry for doing this and that. I won't do it again. Just sign this contract, and we'll give you Amanda Nunes.
Well, that brings me to another question. Do you think this is Cyborg's way of getting out of the Amanda Nunes fight? Do you think she is trying to duck Nunes? Because she's saying, "Oh, I'm not going to sign unless you apologize." Like,
no, because didn't she call Amanda Nunes out for this? Like, after she won, didn't she say, I want Amanda Nunes?
I don't know. I'm not too sure. No, she didn't say that.
No? Well, I mean, either way, that's the fight to make. And if they don't make that fight, that shit's dumb.
Who do you got in the rematch?
Oh, dude, that's really tough. I would want Amanda Nunes to win again because that would just be insane. It would prove that it wasn't a fluke at all. It'd prove like she is just better, you know.
I think Nunes will whip her ass again, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it'd be as quick.
I don't think it'll be as quick either.
Man, Nunes is just a beast now, man. She just keeps getting better, and Cyborg looks like she's on her way out.
Yeah, I think she's trying to go. I still think she's trying to go to boxing though. But that or either Bellator.
Bellator. They got 145 chicks over there.
I don't know, but that's just what I've been reading.
I guess Cyborg walks around like 180, dude.
Bro,
holy fuck!
Where did I hear that?
That's some legit shit.
That's insane.
It is, man. It's fucking
like.
It's a big chick, dude.
Hell yeah. Fucking monster.
But honestly, dude, she does look unfair to these girls. She was a steroid user before.
Yeah, I don't want to get into all that.
No, come on, man. Come on. Like, I think she deserves to get her ass kicked from Nunes, man. Like,
but I'm not gonna just say she deserves all the ass beatings in the world, all because she took steroids, knowingly or unknowingly. I don't know her situation, but I don't think she's tested dirty ever since.
Not in UFC, no.
So,
well, I'm gonna be real here, man. I feel like she's had advantage on a lot of competition she's gone against.
Well, I mean,
size, experience, and I think she was roiding a lot. And it's just like, I feel like she's always had the advantage over chicks.
Roids don't give you skill.
True.
You could be as strong as you want, but if you don't have skill, it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Yeah, you'll get a couple wins here and there because, yeah, you're freakishly strong, but you're still going to lose 80% of the time because you have no skill. She has the skill, bro.
You're right. I mean, it can only get her so far. She has to have some skill, and she does. She's a great striker.
I mean, yeah, for sure.
She does have skill. I'm not going to take that away. But think about it. Women's MMA hasn't been around for a long time, right?
Well, I mean, not in the UFC for a long time.
And then you got a girl taking roids.
Yeah.
And the competition hasn't really evolved a lot, so...
Well, she came into the UFC into a very brand new weight class because there was no one in there except for her. You know? Who else is noteworthy in that weight class? Like, what, Megan Anderson?
No one.
Like, there's a few chicks, but they're just not ready at all.
But that's what I'm getting at. You have Cyborg, who's huge over, like, all her competition already.
But if she can make weight...
She makes weight, but she's already bigger than most of her competition. All of her competition. And
she wasn't bigger than Nunes.
And she took roids. So it's like, her advantages were too high to begin with, and then she took some drug too. It's like, damn, man, she always had the advantage in my eyes.
Yeah,
And that's why I was like, every time I seen her fight, I was like, feed a lamb, because I feel like she's so dominant. Like, there's no even.
but there's a difference. When I look at Cyborg, like, man, that's a hard person to beat. I look at Nunes, the person that, TKO'd her. Man, she's beatable, Nunes. She is just stronger and better than Cyborg. Could have been a fluke, but who knows? Who's beaten Nunes that we know of? Cat Zingano.
True. Everybody's beatable.
Everyone is beatable.
And I guess what I was going at, it was just nice to see like Nunes, who's never been popped for roids or anything, just a pure martial artist.
For sure.
Basically, technique beat the beast. Cyborg,
True, for sure.
But I do want to see that rematch, because
that's.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah,
who doesn't?
But I think we've been rambling long enough about it.
Hey,
but
let me grab one more beer, and we're gonna go into the main event.
All right, one more beer.
One more. Grab one with us, guys. All right, we're back, guys. And
we are back.
Now it's time for the main event
of
the evening.
Getting it.
Max Blessed Holloway versus Frankie the Answer Edgar.
Bro.
Woo.
So I did check some stuff, like some highlights out. Seemed like a decent fight, but fill me in.
Yeah, it wasn't bad if you were still awake through this shitty card and you made it to the main event. It wasn't too bad. To start the first round, Frankie was doing fucking great.
Really?
Yeah. Frankie was fast. He was landing more strikes, and he just using a lot of movement in and out. And Holloway didn't really do much.
Okay.
So I gave the first round to Frankie.
Was Frankie tagging him with some good shots, or just kind of just like, I'm filling you out shots?
He was hitting him with some pretty good shots, but nothing that was like gonna rock Holloway.
Yeah.
But he was tagging and moving. He was doing great.
Nothing dangerous.
Nothing too dangerous, but definitely getting some strikes in.
All right.
Now I was liking that. And then the second round, fuck. I think Holloway kind of coasted the first to fill out Frankie's timing, and then it was all Holloway after that, man.
Really?
And he just started countering Frankie really bad.
Oh, no.
You know that vicious uppercut Ortega landed?
Yeah.
And knocked out Frankie for the first time?
Yeah.
Holloway took some tips from that one, man.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, dude. He rocked Frankie a couple times with an uppercut, dude. And it just was looking bad. And unfortunately, that's Frankie's style. He's really good with head movement. But when he comes in, he ducks his head too much.
Yeah.
Leaves him open to
He's
uppercut.
he crouches in a way.
Yeah, he crouches sometimes. It's just like his style. He's always bobbing, weaving, and unfortunately, people caught on to the way he comes in with his head down. Now the uppercut was just gold for Holloway. He must have landed like 4 times.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean not like Ortega. Otherwise, it'd have been nights out.
Yeah, I mean, damn, they looked pretty brutal.
Oh yeah, I think that's what fucked Frankie Edgar up too. Because I think once that uppercut landed, it messed up his whole game of movement coming in. He was thinking twice before he came in on him. And yeah, smart from Holloway played a very smart fight on that one. He was very technical and he countered a lot. And Frankie Edgar did great too. Just he couldn't figure it out after he was getting countered.
So after he got that uppercut on him, Frankie. Basically, he was just second guessing himself and everything he was doing. Exactly. And then Holloway just capitalized on the hesitation and just murked him.
You got it, brother. And,
wow.
I wouldn't say completely murked or anything. He rocked Frankie in one round, and the rest of the round, they're close. Just the damage was coming from Holloway.
So basically, you're telling me you give Edgar the first round.
Yes.
And the other 4, Holloway.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I felt bad because 2 judges did 50-45 for Holloway. That was fucked up.
God.
Yeah. Even Frankie was like, okay, like his reaction to it was funny, but one judge gave it 48-47, I believe.
Wow.
So
was it unanimous?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was
just goes to show the judging's all fucked up, man.
Oh yeah. Was Edgar able to do any sort of wrestling?
Oh, good point. I think Max Holloway stuffed like fucking 12 out of 13 takedowns. So
Wow.
Edgar got him down one time. It wasn't that long.
It didn't do nothing.
Nope. And that was actually probably his route to victory since the head movement stopped working because he was getting countered. He tried to switch it up with takedowns, but fucking Holloway's takedown defense is insane, dude.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man. It's nothing against Edgar's takedowns or his wrestling. It's just Holloway's so good at the defense.
And I'm pretty sure it doesn't help that he's like a foot taller, or at least it seems like in like the stare down picture. I mean, Holloway just towers this guy.
Yeah, he looks way bigger than Edgar, but for the wrestling aspect, the height doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It was actually what I noticed was Holloway's stance was kind of different.
Really?
Yeah, he was lower, so he was kind of prepared for the takedowns.
Was it almost like in a counter stance?
Counter lower stance, yes.
Kind of like how Cejudo changed his stance in a way? Like, was his legs parallel with one another?
No, it wasn't like karate, but he did have like the lead arm down, kind of, so he can just snap the jab out. And
interesting.
He's just more crouch. He wasn't standing straight up.
So it seems like his lead hand was, he just didn't really keep it up for defense or nothing.
Yes, yeah. It kind of baited him in, almost baited Frankie Edgar in, countered him, and it was always in a low stance, ready for the takedown.
Interesting.
And when Frankie did go for a takedown, his legs were so wide, Holloway, his stance was so wide that it just didn't work.
Yeah.
So, sucks, Frankie Edgar. Man, he is a legend. He is a legend.
Don't get me wrong, the man's a legend.
Even Holloway at the end of the fight, because Holloway won by decision, he said Frankie's the reason why he's there. You know, like he looks up to Frankie. Frankie's a legend, and I don't know where Frankie should go after this, but he said he still wants to fight, man.
Do you by chance know how old he is, Frankie Edgar?
I want to say 36.
All right, well that's not horrible,
right?
But it's like, dude, where do you go from this?
I don't know, man.
Because how many times has he fought for the title? Like 5 times?
Yeah, I believe he's lost the last 5 title shots he's had.
Dude, I mean,
but he's getting there, you know. He's a badass.
I guess you can't really say nothing if he makes his way up the path to getting a title fight. But it's like, dude, I don't see anyone really defeating Holloway in that division.
But what if Holloway goes up?
I was gonna ask a question about that.
Because if Holloway does like give his title up, it goes up to lightweight, then it's open game. Then Frankie's still, you know, a contender at that.
True, almost like a Mighty Mouse situation. He left, and now flyweight is, you know, popping again. I was gonna ask this question: did it seem at all like Holloway was affected by the loss from Poirier, since that was his last fight? No,
not at all.
I was curious if that was gonna be a factor on him.
No, I think this was like a perfect fight back, because now he's fighting the smaller guy again, and Poirier was the bigger dude, so Holloway looked great. He looked great. Yeah, he wasn't affected.
That's good. That's good. So is there really anyone else in that division for Holloway?
Well, I believe Volkanovski, is that his name?
Oh, yeah.
He actually was the backup fighter for this fight. He cut weight and everything.
Really?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure he's going to be next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm not sure if I like the matchup, because he's kind of similar to Chad Mendes. I don't know what he brings to the table to beat Holloway, but he's probably next.
Well,
I wonder what they pay for a backup fighter to cut weight, train, and all that shit.
Just to be a standby. I mean, they've got to get paid something.
Dude, they better hook them up.
For
Especially
sure.
the weight cut. Come on.
Yeah,
and
for
you're
sure.
not even fighting. Whew.
Yeah, they've got to do something.
But he is probably next. I was curious how Holloway was going to do with his weight cut since he went to lightweight.
Yeah. Well, honestly, when he went to lightweight, he looked the same.
I
mean, that's my one gripe about him moving to lightweight. he literally looked the same.
Yeah, he did. He
It's
didn't
like,
really have time to build muscle or any of that.
I
You
mean,
know?
yeah, like if he is gonna eventually go to lightweight, please put on a little muscle, put on a little something, bro, because you got fucked up by Poirier.
And let's face it, lightweight is just monsters.
Oh, dude, they're killers.
And yeah, I don't know if Holloway can stand with all of them. You know?
I think if he puts on a little more muscle, like if he's able to hit just a little harder,
Mm-hmm.
I think he would be able to do great.
Yeah. How great though? Champ great or like just top 5, top 10?
Um, champ great. I'm gonna go out and go on a limb and say he could be champ great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll see. He might get another shot in the future. You never know.
I think he'll eventually move up.
His takedown defense looked great in that fight, and I'm sure he's been working on it just in case that Khabib fight ever comes back. But I like Holloway. I like Edgar. It was an honorable fight. It was cool to see these guys go at it. I love both guys.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, this whole card as a whole just sucked.
Blue.
It just sucked, man. And even that main event, like it was good, but nothing exciting really happened. It's just
Yeah.
kind of a sparring match.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, not every fight card can be a winner, brother.
That is true, and that does bring me. We're gonna talk about the UFC Fight Night coming up this Saturday. Covington versus Lawler. Now, this is another card that basically sucks.
Yes.
I am going to go out on another limb and say it's a little better than last week's. Still, the prelims, I only see like one person I'd want to see is Antonia Shevchenko.
Shevchenko.
Yeah, she's fighting a nobody, but she's always fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
Always fun to watch.
Definitely.
Then we have Mickey Gall on the prelims, so that's cool. You know, whatever. And then yeah, still just a bunch of whatevers.
That main card just sucks, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody on that main card, dude.
But the reason I wanted to talk a little about this is my boy, the Carpenter, Clay Guida, is fighting Jim Miller.
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Is that co-main?
Yes, it sure is.
Nice. 2 OGs.
Exactly. And I love me some Guida, man.
Yeah.
Dude, I've always been down for the full.
That's your
He's
boy, huh?
awesome.
That's
Hell
your boy.
yeah, man. So clearly I'm going to go for him.
Well, it's a good matchup because they're both veterans and their styles are pretty similar too. So it's interesting. I like it.
Even Guida, like, even though he's getting up there in age, he still has some fight in him.
Oh yeah, man.
He's not a pin yet.
Not yet. I think he just beat Penn, right?
Yeah, I think that was his last fight.
So they're starting to like have the older fighters fight each other now, huh?
Which is fun.
Yeah,
It's fun.
Fair to me.
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, so then we have the main event. Colby Covington versus Robbie Lawler. Bam.
Ooh.
Now this is a hot good fight.
So
Boy.
where's Kobe even been, man?
Well, that's why no one understood why he took this fight, because he was supposed to fight Usman, and then he just randomly took this fucking fight. So who knows? I don't know, but I'm excited as hell for it. Like, what do you think about it?
I hate Kobe. I hate him. I fucking do not like him at all. Same with Usman. I think they're both just similar, boring ass fighters. And I'm glad he took this fight because I think Robbie Lawler's gonna take his fucking head off. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm going for. I'm going for a Jorge deja vu. The Masvidal versus Ben Askren, that flying knee knockout.
Yeah.
I want fucking Lawler to land that flying knee.
That would
on
be
Kobe.
dope. On a second thought or side thing, you know how many times that's been happening recently? A flying knee knockout when someone's been going for a takedown. I think that happened twice over the weekend in different organizations. Really? Yeah.
It's weird. Like sometimes in MMA, if you see like something crazy or new, it's not new, but the flying knee, like people start using it more. You know, like, oh shit, that worked. Let me try it. You know? And you'll start seeing like a pattern of people start picking up on it. That's cool though, man. I'm hoping for the same shit, man. Can we see another flying knee knockout? Cause dude, come on, Kobe, what the fuck?
I'm not a huge fan of him either. I am definitely going for Robbie Lawler, because he looked so fantastic in his last fight versus Askren.
Oh yeah.
Looked fantastic.
Even though he lost that one.
Even though he lost, I still think he learned what was done wrong, and I think he's gonna fix it. And
I love Robbie Lawler, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He's my favorite welterweight champ, man. That dude just brings the heat.
Whatever?
I think so, yeah, man. I fucking think so.
Are you sure about
For
that?
welterweight, yeah.
Are you sure about that?
He's the most exciting champion to me in welterweight history. I know you got a few. You got Matt Hughes and
For sure, Matt Hughes, but even my boy Hughes ain't number one.
GSP.
Of course. Come
Yeah.
on, dog.
But I'm talking about pure excitement. I think
Pure
Lawler's
excitement?
been the most exciting champ in welterweight.
I mean, he only had the belt for like not even a fight.
Not even a fight,
I mean, he lost the defense of it, the first defense of it.
bro. No, he had a 5-round war with Johnny Hendricks. Won it
Won it.
the second time. That's when he got the belt.
Yeah.
Right? And then he had a 5-round war with Carlos Condit.
Oh,
Won it, which was amazing. Then he had a 4-round war with Roy McDonald. Won it.
Why am I thinking he only fought once for it? Oh shit, yeah.
Every fight he was in with the belt was a fucking war. Except the Willie one. And since the Willie fight, he hasn't been too hot. But before that, dude, he was a monster, man. And I hope he shows that against Kobe, because I'm over Kobe, dude.
I think he was showing that versus Askren. It's just,
oh yeah,
you know, shit happens.
it does.
But
And
I do want to bring something up that you said a couple minutes ago.
what's that?
I don't know what your beef is with Usman, but for someone to literally dominate Woodley like he did, you can't call him boring, bro. I'm sorry. You can't call him boring. You can't. I know you hate pure wrestlers, but dude, he wasn't just wrestling. He was outstriking him. He was throwing down. He demolished Woodley. And
You're right.
I don't think you could call him boring no more. You cannot call that person boring. I'm sorry.
You're going off his last fight, then yeah, he looked great. It's probably his best performance I've seen, you know?
For sure.
But if we remember before those fights when he's, I'm only going 30%, he had a couple of stinkers, man, where just...
I mean, who doesn't?
Right. I'm just saying for the majority part, I don't like watching him fight. Did
I
he
feel
look good
you.
against Willie? Hell yeah, but let's see the next one. Let's see if he keeps the excitement going.
I feel you. I think he will when he, isn't injured.
He's injured.
I'm pretty sure.
Is he
I don't
fight
know.
the end of the year or next year?
I don't know when he's projected to come back.
So I believe that's why they have the Kobe versus Lawler right now.
Well, no. Colby was guaranteed the fight when he gets back.
Right.
Usman, and that's why Usman he came out and saying like he got the title fight. He's been bitching about wanting it. He gets it, and then he just takes this fight against Robbie Lawler.
They had to threaten him with something, man.
Well, Usman says he was going broke, so he needs
Talking
that
some
money.
shit. You never know.
Could
but
be.
I feel like they're probably telling him if you don't take another fight, you're not gonna get the title shot.
I mean, I see that as unlikely, but I get your point.
Because it's a little cluttered up there.
Dude, the welterweight division.
You got Willie still hanging around for a rematch. You got Jorge Masvidal coming off an amazing knockout.
Is Woodley still hurt, or is he training again?
That's another reason why the Kobe and Lawler fight's happening, because Woodley was the original fight against Lawler.
That's right. That's right. Oh, and I want to bring up, speaking of Masvidal, this fucking guy challenged McGregor to another fight again after Dana White said it's never going to fucking happen. Bro, he's not even in your weight class. What are you doing?
Well, who won't challenge my boy? Everybody want a piece of the red panties.
Oh my god.
Everybody wants the red panty nights.
Dude, it's
Everybody.
just like, I like Masvidal. I like his, the way he talks and what he says and shit. It's very well thought out. He seems like a really down-to-earth dude. Just don't cross him. But you calling McGregor out, that's kind of embarrassing. I'm sorry.
Who hasn't, though? Come on.
And he's getting a lot of hype right now. He's 2 for 2 in his last 4 fights. I mean,
they're 2 vicious ass knockouts against
True.
top guys.
True, but I don't know. It kind of had me second guessing him as a whole.
So do you think the winner of Lawler and Kobe deserve a shot next, or should they fight Jorge, the winner?
Well, it depends if Usman's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Depends when he gets back. If he's back, then maybe Lawler versus Colby should get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say that.
What would Jorge do? Just hang out?
I say he needs one more fight.
Really?
Yeah. I know everyone thinks he deserves it.
What about him and Woodley?
That'd be good.
Sounds hot, huh?
Oh, and I wanted to bring this up too. Everyone thinks that Masvidal is calling out McGregor because he's ducking Edwards.
Oh, come on.
Bro.
Come on. I totally forgot
Leon,
about Edwards.
Leon Edwards called him out after he won his last fight.
Yeah.
Why? You're just going to ignore that?
I do want to see that fight, actually.
I mean, if he, already did it, kind of.
He got him backstage. If you guys haven't seen it, look it up. It's pretty funny.
But you see what I'm saying? Like, why are you calling out someone not even in your weight class?
Because he wants some red tanning night, baby.
Still, you'll get that if you keep knocking out motherfuckers the way you do.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the Leon Edwards is going to be the next fight for Jorge? There's mad hype on it.
Excuse me. Possibly, but I don't think so.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
I
funny.
think it might be what you said just now. Woodley. I would be super down to see that.
It's funny. It's kind of fucked up, but we're talking about the welterweight division, how it's packed, and I totally forgot about Leon Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy has an 8-fight win streak. He's still not popular yet, huh?
Well, I just think him getting the 3-piece and a soda in the backstage, that really hurt at how everyone views him.
Killed his value, huh?
Oh, yeah, buddy.
That's
for
so
sure.
funny, dude. It's so fucking funny.
I mean, wouldn't you agree?
Oh, yeah, big time. Big time.
I mean...
But I still want to see him fight Jorge in the fucking cage, dude.
Yeah. I think Jorge would probably just mop him up.
It'd be great, because Edwards, he's like a counter guy, too.
Yeah.
So I want to see an aggressor go at him and knock him the fuck out, you know?
Yeah, I just don't think... was it Leon?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think he possesses the power to really stop Masvidal in a fight.
Right.
You know?
He's a technical guy. He's got to play smart and somehow, like, get Masvidal too aggressive or too emotional, you know? But I want to see it, dude. Fuck it.
What would you rather see? Edwards Masvidal or Woodley Masvidal?
I actually want to see the Edwards Masvidal.
Really?
Yeah, I do. There's a lot of hype behind it, and there's answers. You know, there's some questions to be answered still.
Okay, say Masvidal beats Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
Do you honestly think that gets him closer to a title shot?
No, it would be.
No, it does not.
It'd be the opposite.
Exactly.
Yeah, it'd be risky on Masvidal, but if he's a gangster, why not just fucking finish
True,
that
and
fool,
that's
you know?
he's a gangster, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's why he handled his shit.
He did
when he did.
He did.
Because you're talking shit over there when I'm doing an interview. All right, let me walk over there with my hands holding my wrist and shit, and I'm just gonna pop you up real quick. That's some gangster ass shit.
It was.
And that's why I don't even think he's thinking twice about him. It's Woodley.
Like, it's smart for Masvidal to not even look at Leon Edwards anymore, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you know he could beat his ass, isn't that easy money too? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, but it's title. The title. That's
is that
all that
too
matters.
much pressure? Like, why don't you just take an easy money fight and build your name more? You know?
And see, that's why I don't respect DC.
Why?
And because he took easy fights to build up his record and shit. If Masvidal or any fighter for that matter starts, when I see them taking easy fights, I look at you different. You know?
But it's not like too easy. I mean, he did piece him backstage, but the guy's high ranked. You know, like,
still,
I like to see it.
That I don't. Masvidal versus Woodley.
What about you guys? Who you guys want to see? Do you want to see Masvidal piece up Leon Edwards again in the cage,
or Tyrone mother effing Woodley? Well, I think we're about to wrap this shit up real quick.
We're wrapping it up, man. I know it's probably been a hard one to listen to since the fights weren't really that great at all. But, we'll come back, man. We'll come back with some better fights. There's some more lined up this year that are pretty hot.
Yeah, for sure. And we are going to possibly do a review over Robbie Lawler and Colby
Yeah.
Covington. Possibly, we'll
No
see.
promises.
Yeah, no promises because we don't really want to put you guys through this, but yeah,
But
make
if
sure.
not, we'll be back for UFC 241.
Yes, 241.
So,
That's the hot fucking
yes.
card right there.
So please subscribe now. We're on the YouTube, and we love to hear from you guys. Write some comments, talk some shit, be
Oh,
part
yeah.
of the neighborhood, and you
Yeah.
guys have a great night.
All right, peace.